The yard was in turmoil. The freight cars would not stop grumbling, and Arthur was forced to tend to them on a daily basis. He kept them in order despite their complaints, and maintained a clear smoke box and a steady work ethic.
Shunting, such noisy work.
Sniffed Murdoch.
I wouldn't be able to bear it. I find nice, slow goods work to be more of my element.
Well, if I could be in my element all the time, I'd be doing coastal runs, stopping by the fishing village, getting a good view of the sea.
Don't be daft.
Chuckled Murdoch.
We can't do what we want all the time. Believe me. Take an iron load to the other railway and you'll know the definition of out of your element.
The two engines laughed. Despite their grievances, they were still good friends.
You're a new face around these parts.
Said Murdoch.
You just don't look too happy about it.
It was horrendous. A stray sheep on the line.
Ugh, spare me the details, please.
A touchy subject, smiled Arthur. Please continue, Daisy.
I will. Thank you. It was marvelous at first until that stupid animal stood right between the rails like nothing was wrong. I've shoot a cow before, but this stubborn thing wouldn't even budge. I blew a fuse trying to shoot away, and this was the only place I could get a proper fitter.
Well, it's nice to have your company, Arthur said innocently. Daisy was still fuming.
What we need,
said Murdoch,
is a decent shepherd to keep all these unruly sheep in order.
The engines agreed, and on that note, the evening was silent. The next week, Murdoch arrived in the shunting yard to collect his train. Arthur was there, but with an entirely new disposition. His calm, collected work ethic had changed to a lively masquerade along the yard.
What are you up to?
Asked Murdoch. Just tending to the flock, announced Arthur proudly. These freight cars need a good shepherd to keep them in order. Murdoch stared blankly for a few seconds.
I see you've taken our conversation quite to heart last week.
Hey, it's good stuff. Makes sense of a grueling task. Puts me in my element.
Whatever turns your wheels.
Sighed Murdoch.
Just rally the flock and don't make a mess of things while I'm gone. Long journey ahead. I need some coal.
Arthur was in such a state that he was rather unattentive.
You're usually so focused.
Observed the driver.
You're running well. I just don't recognize you right now.
Arthur did his best and had the train marshaled in record time. However, he had to move some wagons filled with flour crates for James to take to the harbor. Unfortunately, they had not been sealed properly for their impending journey. So when Arthur came up with a bump, the freight car shot into the air, spilling flour all over him. Murdoch backed onto his cars and saw Arthur, covered from funnel to cab in flour. He tried to look away and act as if nothing had happened. But he couldn't control himself. He had to laugh.
Well, you certainly made a mess of things. There goes the spotless record.
I'm in my element, said Arthur, who couldn't help but smirk. A big mess of things, resulting in one all-encompassing shepherd's pie. Seems like I have all the ingredients. And the two friends laughed together, relieved to have found their element at last.